Hi guys, this is Nico. Today we're going to be talking about the J group and related shapes. And this is the J group. It's a pretty common life and death problem. It's sort of annoying in the sense that it's so common because it's also on the hard side. Like this is probably in terms of frequency and difficulty of the really hard problems. This is by far the most common one. You'll see fairly often. And I'm going to show you the solution, but I'm also going to be talking about how you would come up with a solution about the life and death of this corner if you didn't know. So it's white to play, and if you want to try and figure this out for yourself, this would be a good time to pause the video because I'm about to show you the solution, okay? So first I'm just going to show you the solution, and then we're going to walk through how you would come up with it, okay? So white plays this Hane, and black blocks. And then white plays here and black here. And this all, black can play this, or he can play this, or he can play this. But we'll do this one. And then regardless of which of the three black plays, white's next move is always the same. And it's a very surprising move that you probably wouldn't think of if you didn't know it, right? So it's this descent here at T14. And the point is that when you throw in here, this becomes self-Atari. So black has to capture, and then you falsify the eye. Okay, so the question is, how do you come up with that? Because there's something kind of magical in this solution, where you, especially this move, where you keep expecting it's going to be something on the inside. And instead, white plays this very slow-looking move on the outside, slowly encroaching on the group. So the general secret of the L group is closely tied to this shape, which many people think of called a bulky 5. I always hate the name bulky 5, and I usually call it the turtle. You can think of, maybe I'll draw it in a different angle here. Let's get rid of that triangle and add this square. And we can sort of say that this here is the shell, and that's the head, right? And the way you kill the turtle is by decapitation, so the vital point is A. It's the spot that connects the shell to the head. Okay? So when you get here, it sort of looks like maybe there's two turtles. There's this turtle with triangles, and there's also this turtle with squares. And usually when that happens, there's sort of two vital points. It sort of looks like these two guys. And you say, well, there's just no way this dies because I can't play both of those spots at once. But this does die. And the main secret to this is to understand the difference between these two turtles. Okay? And the difference between them, let's just get rid of some of this noise in the center of the board. This is a normal turtle that behaves the way you would expect. And this one's a little bit different. And the reason it's different is that without playing inside the group, with moves only on the outside, white could descend and then Atari here, forcing black to fill it in, and then he's no longer, then this turtle is completely broken. Now, in order to do that, we have to make two moves in a row, this descent and then this Atari. And, of course, Go doesn't allow that. You can't make two moves in a row. But this is our first hint. The second hint comes in the following way. We say, well, I mean, we know that black could live just by, making the other eye here, right? And these are the two eyes. But let's say we're not worried about that for a second. We're just going to say, how does black stop from white making these two moves in a row? How does he prevent it? And the way he prevents it, there's only one. I mean, he just has to play here himself. And if we stop here and look at this for a second, there's this moment where you think, wait, this is an empty triangle on the first line. And there has to be something really suspicious about any kind of empty triangle on the first line, and it's liberties. So what we're going to say is there's going to be an issue with the liberties of this piece here when white descends. Now, go back to here. You can't descend now because there's two turtles. We're trying to say we're going to be able to deal with this turtle. Right? But this one, I mean, you just got to kill it right now. So you do. And you fire here, for instance. Okay. Now, black's going to play in here, and we're going to pick temporarily this move. And I just want to go into this a little bit, because let's say you didn't know about this and you just sort of follow your nose, right? There's this feeling that you probably want to plan to play here to cut, but again, this is a snapback, not working. But just stop for 1 second, because when you descend here again with the plan of playing this Atari, notice that black can't do that. It's self-Atari, so I guess he captures here. But then you get to do this, and that's exactly the whole plan. So, how do we change that? Well, I mean, I guess black could capture over here. And then you get to do this, but then black's going to be able to escape. So we're pretty close to the solution. And then there's this moment of, well, do you really need this? Well, it sort of looks like you do, right? Because if you skip all that and you just do the same thing, that's two eyes. But then we noticed that we really wanted black to play this empty triangle here. So we're taking away that empty triangle from him. No. Let's see if we can force him to make it. Okay. So essentially what's happening here is that we're spotting this empty triangle on the first line as running out of liberties as the only way that's preventing us from doing this. So we strike at the main body of it if we pretend that doesn't exist. And then we come back and we use the shortage of liberties to Atari here and make this not part of the black eye space. Now, let's think about another related shape. The J group is sometimes known as the big pig snout. A slightly lesser known, but also pretty well known shape that's sort of related is the little pig snout here. And this one also tends to throw people for a loop. So this one you can't kill, but you can do something. And it doesn't look like you can do anything because the first place you would try to go is right here. Oh, whoops, let's make it white's turn. Is right here to spoil the eye at triangle. But black plays here, and if you descend to here, black makes the eye. And you can't ever play that because it's self-Atari. So instead you play this other move, which is kind of strange here. And then black goes this. And then this move is probably the move that really ties the small and big pig snouts together. Descending, aiming at playing this Atari and falsifying the eye. And the point is, if black stops you, once again he has made this empty triangle on the first line, and you can Atari him for a ko. Now black can try and resist by throwing in the corner, but this is also ko. So the ko cannot be avoided. Now let's go back to the start of this shape and just stop for a moment and we're saying, well, we could come down to the first line and then Atari. That's sort of our long-term plan. So we think about it. We come down to the first line, and then we Atari and black does this, and we notice what shape black has here. Oh my god. It's a turtle. So, we pretend that we'd already done this, and we jump directly to the neck of the turtle to decapitate. And then we proceed with our plan of going down here and giving this Atari. Here's another way it can happen. But once again, black can't connect. You capture him here, so he has to capture there. And again, it's false. So, the main purpose of this isn't actually to show anyone the solution to these problems. I think this is a more advanced video than most of the ones I've done. The main purpose is to sort of demystify it a little bit. Like, how is it that you would ever come up with this move on your own? Because it's this really surprising move that I probably would never have spotted if this hadn't been shown to me. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I thought there might be some value in putting some reasoning behind it. Anyway, that's what I've got for you today, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.